All right. Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. This is Rudy. Today is Friday, March the 16th. And if for no other reason, I wanted to document the events of today for use possibly later on. But today, a warning shot was fired across my bow by the government. And I don't think it's going to have the expectation that they think it might have. I was contacted by someone who has the ability to influence my finances a great deal. And at first I thought it was a joke. I thought, this has got to be a joke. But this person contacted me about a form I had filled out in 1997, an I-9 form. And they said that a government agent with immigration has contacted them, and they're concerned that I am an illegal alien, and my form was filled out improperly, and that I need to present my birth certificate, or I may need to present my birth certificate. And at first I thought it was a joke. I thought but I've checked it out and it's absolutely true. Now, I'm not telling you this from the perspective of being nervous or being fearful or being concerned about anything about what's going to happen in the future, because the Lord will control that. What I am telling you this about is to simply document the fact, and like an awareness issue. I want you to be aware of what's happening to me, because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that I'm being targeted because I speak out against Obama's eligibility. And supposedly the government is performing a random audit, and I have been identified as a person of interest. And now my citizenship is under question, and I might have to present my birth certificate in order to prove that I am a citizen. Now, that's not just an accident. And so the fact that the government is doing that, I know that there's a lot of people watching this video that hate my guts, and that you get a big kick out of the fact that you think I'm getting exactly what I deserve. And that's fine. You have a right to hate me, and I don't even care really. But it's for those of you who can see what's going on. We have a tyrannical dictator who's trying to get rid of anybody who speaks out against him. And I would hope that even if you don't agree with me on the fact that Obama is ineligible, that you would recognize that we should be able to live in a society where people have their own opinions and can say what's on their mind. Now, the government is obviously trying to shut me up by impacting my financial being, and by targeting me with this so-called random audit for citizenship. Now, I'll just say that if the government agents are watching this video, that I got nothing to hide and I haven't done anything illegal. And I do have my birth certificates. I'm considering taking the long form birth certificate of myself and breaking it up into multiple layers and putting a smiley face on the stamp and posting it on a website, and have you go to that to see it and see if you'll accept that like you've accepted Obama's. But I hope you understand that if you think you're going to get me to back down or intimidate me somehow, that simply will not happen. Okay? I don't know where this will go, but I will not be intimidated, and we'll just see what happens going forward. But I want to show you guys. I thought, hey, it's about time I showed my birth certificate again. I made an earlier video a long time ago where I showed some, but I want to show you guys again, just so that I can say that I am more eligible to be president of the United States than the so-called Barry Soetoro usurper that we have now. But right now I'm going to show you my short form, and I did censor it a bit, so you're looking at that. I believe I blacked out my middle name, my birthday, and maybe my mother's name, because I know there's a lot of crazy people that will use that for identity theft. But I do have it, and this is what it looks like when it's blacked out. I'm going to now show you my second short form, and I blacked out some of that as well. And believe it or not, this is my long form. And I wrote to the Texas Vital Records Department and asked for a copy of my long form, and I do have it. And it's got the stamp on it and race seal and all that good stuff. So I do have my forms, and I am a legal citizen of the United States. I was born in Baylor Hospital in Dallas, Texas. And I have my proof, and that puts me more eligible to be president of the United States than the so-called usurper president that we have today, who is not a president, by the way. So anyway, I wanted to document that. Obviously, there's government agents that are paying attention to me and are targeting me. And I'm not saying that in a boastful way, like, hey, look at me. I'm just saying it's a fact. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I'm not threatened. And I'm not going to back down. And, let's move on, because I want to use the time that I have left in my 15 minutes to talk about some other things. I want to go through some clips of various people talking, and these are, what I would call famous people. And you can put them in the liar category, in the coward category, or in the tyrant category. Okay, now the first one is going to be Jacques Fresco, and so I'll play that clip right now.
You're taught in school that everybody should have a right to their own opinion. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now, suppose you lived across the way from me, and I see 10 guys coming out of your apartment, and I have a right to my own opinion. She could be a ballet instructor, language instructor. Never give people the right to their own opinion. If their own opinion is sane, and I say, what's going on there? I honestly don't know. She could be a language instructor, a ballet instructor, but if you give everybody a right to their own opinion, you think man will ever get to the moon? Nah, not in 1,000 years. I'm not interested in that. Are you a rocket expert? Do you know anything about space travel? I don't want your opinion.
Okay, you guys just heard Jacques Fresco, and he talked about how nobody is entitled to their opinion, because he believes that people with all these different opinions slow the progress of mankind down. And I don't know if you guys saw a movie about from Ben Stein, I believe it was. I think it was called Expelled. And he talked about how anybody that doesn't believe in evolution doesn't get promoted in the science academia world and in universities. And if you believe in creationism, you don't get promoted, and you're subject to getting fired. So, and that's along the lines of Jacques Fresco believing that not everybody should have an opinion. So let's move on, because I want to go through these fairly quickly, and I want you to draw your own conclusions on this. The second one is Ron Paul. And I've played this before, but I think it's worth playing again, so let's play that now.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Practically an irrelevant argument right now, because he's the president and everybody assumes that, and nobody's going to put him out of office. So I think I generally don't bring the subject up, don't have a whole lot to say about it, and I don't know all the answers, and I'm not even asking many questions regarding it.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Okay, you guys just saw Ron Paul, and he said that the birth certificate issue is irrelevant, and he said, I'm not asking any questions. Now, this is from the so-called defender of the Constitution, the libertarian candidate who has 20, 30-year track record of defending the Constitution. And he just told you guys that he's not asking any questions, and he doesn't think Obama's eligibility he considers it irrelevant. Okay. Wow. Okay. What camp do you put that? Do you put that in the liar category, or the coward category, or the tyrant category, or the I'm so damn incompetent that I can't even think of a title for this category? I think Ron Paul's pretty competent, so I would have to put, if you ask me, I don't think he's lying either. I think he probably means what he says. So I would put him in the coward category, and I don't want to follow any leader that's a coward. Okay, let's go on. This next video clip is of Lawrence Cross, K-R-A-U-S-S, I believe. Let's play what he has to say.
He is Associate Director of the Beyond Center and Co-Director of the Cosmology Initiative and Director of the New Origins Initiative at Arizona State University. So the study of origins of all kinds, right across the board, from the origin of the universe to the origin of life to the origin of everything you can think of. What an amazingly exciting initiative to get started at a university. I'm delighted that Lawrence is talking to us today. Please welcome him.
But whatever you say, the Big Bang happened. And I think that's if we could just convince a lot of people of just that simple thing, that the universe is the way it is, whether we like it or not, I think we'd overcome a lot of problems in this country, and I have to waste far too much time on that. But anyway, okay, because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, all the things that matter for evolution, weren't created at the beginning of time. They're created in the nuclear furnaces of stars, and the only way they can get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode. So forget Jesus. The stars died so that you could be here today. Okay? And anyway.
Okay, you guys heard him say that it kind of fades away at the end, but he says he has to waste too much time on that. He means he has to waste too much time on the religious question, the Bible and Jesus and did God create the universe? And he goes through an entire 1 hour lecture where he just mocks Jesus Christ, mocks Christians, mocks God, and mocks the Bible. And everybody's clapping as he's mocking it. And he has to waste too much time on religion. So, hey, they don't want you to have an opinion. And if your opinion differs from them, you're slowing the progress down of mankind. Okay, I want to go to another clip of Geraldo bashing 9/11 truthers. So let's play that clip now.
Had been left behind. And if you hear this shouting, it's a group of demonstrators who've come. 9/11 was an inside job. Oh, get a life. Get a life. 9/11 was an inside job. But
okay, you guys heard Geraldo tell the 9/11 truthers to get a life, and I believe during that particular incident there were several people arrested and physically removed from protesting. And it's legal to protest in New York City. I don't see why they were arrested. But so Geraldo thinks the 9/11 truthers should get a life, but he recently did a story on World Trade Center 7 and said that he gives credibility to the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, AE911truth.org. And by the way, I happen to be one of those engineers that's signed their petition, and I'm proud to have my name on that list. And so I do have an electrical engineering degree with a minor in mechanical engineering, and I know I would bet everything I got that World Trade Center 7 didn't fall at free fall speed without explosives being in the building. Now, and Barnhart can, she's entitled to her opinion. She's wrong, but she is entitled to her opinion. And all the people who bash 9/11 truthers, they're entitled to their opinion, but they're wrong. Okay, let's go on. George Bush. Let's listen to George Bush right now.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th. Malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame away from the terrorists themselves, away from the guilty.
Okay, George Bush is telling us not to tolerate any conspiracy theories. And he ties it in with patriotism. And if you tolerate conspiracy theories or you are a conspiracy theorist, you obviously aren't very patriotic to America. The next one on the list, in the interest of time, I want to move along, is Bill O'Reilly. Let's play Bill O'Reilly.
Aaron, Bentonville, Arkansas. Why do you ignore Sheriff Arpaio's assertion that President Obama's birth certificate is a forgery? Well, because Sheriff Arpaio has not presented any hard evidence to back up his assertion. Secondly, I am very busy. I looked into the birth certificate myself and found out there were 2 separate birth announcements made in Honolulu newspapers on the day Barack Obama was born. It would be impossible for that to happen unless somebody was conspiratorializing the birth of a little mixed-race baby. If that were happening, then I guess you could have birth announcements planted. But the odds of that, Aaron, are about 29 gazillion to 1. All right?
Okay, you just heard Bill O'Reilly say that he's too busy to investigate Sheriff Arpaio's recent announcement that Obama is ineligible and has put out a forged birth certificate. Bill O'Reilly is too busy. We live in the Twilight Zone, folks. We live in the Twilight Zone. And he actually can get away with that? I don't understand why people aren't raising up their voices saying, what do you mean you're too busy, Bill? When was the last time anybody asked you for your birth certificate that you were able to bring in a newspaper? Has that ever happened? That's never happened to me. Okay, the next one is Al Gore. Okay, Al Gore.